What's up everybody, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you everything that I learned from Pro League in the season invitational, which just happened 2 days ago and is still happening right now. Let's go Astralis. And with that out of the way, I'm going to be VOD reviewing some clips to better teach you how to play the game based off of stuff that Pro League players, as you can see, are doing. So let's get into the first clip. Just for some background right now, we have, it's 0-0, first round, 14 seconds left, and it's a 1v2. There's a clash here, and then there's a player on the right. Now with this clip, I'm going to be teaching you how to deal with clash players, but also how to clutch in, scenarios where you need to clutch the round, right? So let's just let the video speak for itself.
A line, and it's the clash on the other side of it. Anyway, even worse now, Doki has finally been dropped on that crossfire from Elevator back in the gold. So with that said, Virtue, though, actually not going out. If he can chase down and get the clash here, might still be able to close it down, but time is running out. He's not going to be able to get it done. I don't think the clash is too pervasive here. And with that, the defenders...
Okay, so he didn't actually win the round. If he had ammo, he definitely would have beaten that clash and won the round. So, like, the pure game sense that he had and the things that he did in the round were the right things to do. He just unfortunately was out of ammo, right? So going into it, what do I want you to learn from this round? Well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning, right? 1v2, his teammate's down. What he needs to do is he needs to kill 2 players to win, right? He can't plant because they have 2 people that can just go to him once he plants due to there only being 13 seconds left. So he needs to take the 1v2. How does he do this, right? There's a clash on his left. There's a player in elevator. Who should he fight first? Well, the clash presents the least worry, right? So if we look over here, she has a shield in front of her face. Her gun's not up. So she's not going to be able to shoot him. So what he needs to worry about as the Habana is the person in the elevator. And that's what he does, right? He focuses the guy in elevator and eventually gets the kill because this guy, for whatever reason, decides to swing. And that actually would have lost them the round if this guy were able to clutch it. So he gets the kill there, and then he immediately goes for the clash player. And when you 1v1 clash players, the best thing you can do is you knife their shield and you shoot the bottom right where their legs are or where their arm is, right? It's very easy to do with Callie because you can shoot her shield out of the way and then you can immediately shoot her feet and down her. Just a little pro tip there. But this is what you have to be doing. You 1v1 everyone else first, and the clash comes last because she doesn't have her gun out. So what is that? He knifes the bottom of the shield, and then he shoots where the clash is able to be shot. And like I said, if he had the ammo, he would have won the gunfight. So that being said, when you're in a 1v2 scenario or 1v3, 1vx, whatever, and there's a clash, you need to be focusing the other players first and baiting their aggression so that you can win the 1vx situation. That's the lesson I'm trying to teach you right now. This is a border game with Dark Zero versus FaZe Clan, and the highlight is the Solus player on defense. I want you to watch him and see what he does.
So we know there's something still available for these for FaZe that they can play against DZ with.
I mean, they put a lot of weight in the idea of their C4 strategy, and now with 30 seconds and not really finding any success on the back of it, they got to see if they can try and scrape the rest with the hefty guns, waiting for just to drift into an angle. The pings on the players, they're vaguely above us, but to be fair, Dark Zero aren't really hiding that. What they need to try and do, though, to see if they can shepherd the players to a pocket of safety, exactly, for Skies to slip his way in and try and get that kit planted once again. He's going to get himself a rotate down towards the main door. There is a player so close round onto that fight, and if he goes uncontested and the kit goes cold, that will be devastating. The grenade goes through, there's the swing! Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs.
Okay, so the Solus aces. Now, I will say a lot of those kills were lucky. He just happened to 2v1 a lot of people with 1 mag, but I'm going to highlight the game sense in what he's doing and why he's doing it and why it worked so well. So first of all, the team that was attacking made one mistake, and it was taking way too long. That was a mistake. Whenever you play vertical on a site and you're an attacker, what you need to do is you need to do it early, because what good players will do and what you should do if someone's playing vertical on you is once they get vertical control of the site, leave the site. Because they're not going to be pressuring the site if they're above it, right? So they're not going to be able to walk in when you leave. I would leave at least 1 player there to make sure no one walks in, but I would leave the site and just play horizontally, and you'll still be near the site, so where you can actually like hold people from just walking in for free, but you won't be directly beneath the vertical hole. So what I would do if someone's playing vert on you is leaving the site. If you look in the clip and you look at where all the defenders are, the only person on site is Cade. Mozzie's offsite, Valkyrie is offsite, and Solus is offsite, right? Valkyrie's in bathroom, Mozzie was in customs, Solus was bottom metal, right? So they were all offsite because these guys were playing vert. The best thing about this situation is they only had 30 seconds left, right? So the people on site knew if they just left site and waited like 20 seconds or so, they could come and retake the site once the attackers were forced to come to site and leave their vertical play, right? So they just completely ignored the vert, left the site, and came back. So if you want to learn how to counter vert, that's how, right? You waste as much time on the roam, and you waste as much time leaving the site when they play vert on you, and you just win the round, right? So they took full advantage of this. They had like 3 people left side, 1 person on site, and then once like the call out was given, like, hey, they're pushing downstairs because they have 10 seconds left, Solus comes back and cleans them all up whenever she was trying to get back to site. But that is just how you counter vertical play, is what I'm trying to get at right now. In this clip, we have BDS versus Oxygen, and it is a 2v4 right now. As you'll see shortly, Shaiko does die, leaving it to be a 1v4. I'm going to just show you in this clip how pros clutch rounds so that you know how to clutch rounds better yourself.
About time after time, again, it's a slow process, but when it closes fast. Bride already the last player standing here for BDS. Overtime seems all but likely now as he tries to fend it off. Maybe not just yet. Foxe needs to plant now. How's he going to play this? Aggressive or for the plant? The shotgun pump comes in, but he's wasted too much time.
Okay, so what about this clip makes it special in terms of how you actually clutch, right? It just looks like he got into a bunch of gunfights and he got lucky. Well, one thing you need to understand when you're down man count at all and you're trying to even out the playing field is you want to be taking 1v1s. As the attackers, the reason they lost that round to the 1v1ing Warden is because they kept giving the Warden 1v1s and they never swung together. And they also played way too aggressively trying to finish the round out instead of just planting the bomb and holding passive angles, right? Which is what they should have done. Luckily, they played into the Warden, but the Warden also made some very good decisions. He took 1v1 gunfights based off of the info that he had. He knew one was in Logi, he knew one was in Master, he knew one was in Con, and he knew one was in Gym. Knowing that, he swung each player one at a time, and a 1v1 is a lot easier to deal with than 1v4ing, right? So he took those 1v1s individually, and he baited their regression, which is exactly what you need to do if you're trying to even up man count, especially on defense with that little time left and with them having to get the bomb down. Now in the 1v1, after he had already killed 3 people, he completely lost all of his aggression, right? One thing you have to understand about defense, if you're down in man count, you get aggressive. If you're even or you're up in man count, you play passive, because again, the attackers have to come to you, they have to plant the bomb. So if you're not down in man count, there's no reason for you to be taking gunfights, right? You should just be wasting as much time as possible. This being said, once he was in a 1v1, he understood this principle and he played very passively. He also understood that the attackers only had 10 seconds to plant the bomb, so he thought, if I can just waste as much time in these next 10 seconds, I can wait for him to just plant the bomb and then run in and kill him, or, you know, run at him and make him stop planting, and then we win the round. So that is a great example of why playing aggressive when you're down in man count on defense is so important, and how to use the attacker aggressiveness to further ease up your clutch. So in this clip, it is a 1v4. He doesn't end up actually winning the round, but he does do something that's very good, and you'll actually see in the clip right now, and I'll highlight some things on why this clip is very good.
As you said before, last time we were here, they gave up the top floor. This time, they barely let any of it slip away.
That's what it's at. Like, you just need to hold on to it because it is expensive to get in. The swings are very risky, and it leaves it only up to Sapper now. It's going in vertically, horizontally. We'll find one wallbangs a second. Certainly, this is very...
Okay, so one thing that I want to highlight before I get into the crazy wallbang that y'all just saw is if you look at the defenders right now, from the Sledge's POV, literally all of them are standing still and they're all playing passive, right? This is something that I talked about 2 clips ago when I was talking about as a defender, when you're up in a man count, you just want to play passive, because like in this clip, as it shows, the attackers eventually have to come to you and they have to take gunfights. This guy does end up getting those 2 kills, but only because they weren't playing together. They were giving him 1v1s, right? This guy, he got very lucky. He wallbanged him because he had the game sense and the map knowledge to know that once he swung this kid, there would probably be a kid in Laundry that would try to go into this hallway and get his refrag, right? So knowing that, he pre-fired through the wall onto the Laundry door just in case anyone tried to come out. So the thing that I'm trying to highlight right now is he had the map knowledge to know that once he shot this player, another player was going to refrag him, and he knew that that other player might be either coming from top white stairs through this hallway or through Laundry and eventually through this hallway. So he just pre-fired the hallway. That's why map knowledge is so important in this game.
Now he's actually going to move both of them now to get them into a better position for when G2 feels the confidence to move forward. That does leave a little bit of a risky situation. The fact that he could have been droned out, but nicely done. Plays it off the audio cue from upstairs, catches Virtue lurking into his corner, and now he's got a health advantage for the final 1v1. Blur is at negative 20 HP here, sub 20 HP, trying to win this one out inside of the 1v1. The crossfire comes dangerously close to making the connection onto Volps. He's also out in the open. You're taking the risk on exposing himself to Blur without the full intel, but keep in mind there, you can see it. His teammates on those echo drones giving out the hard pings, constantly feeding Blur's location over to Volps, so he is not panicking in any sense right now. That all is instead happening over on Blur's side of shift things. Look at this as well. Nicely played by Volts. Just backs away from the scenario. Just gonna play this on the timer unless he knows he has a winning angle. There.
Alright, so there's a few things that I want to highlight from this clip. One, he totally used my echo cam spot. I put this on my TikTok. I actually did invent this. I'm no genius. He could have also invented this on his own. But there's an echo cam spot that you can put below the dishes.
Like you said, the repositioning of those
right
echo
here. He puts it below the cabinet. I actually didn't invent that. If you don't believe me, it's on my TikTok. Anyways, so he puts the echo cam there, and he has teammates watching his cameras, and then he eventually kills the guy upstairs, right through the floor, because he hears him, and he makes it a 1v1. So again, referencing the same lesson, when you're on defense and you're down a man count, you want to get aggressive. If you have information and there's only 50 seconds, however, you kind of want to play passive. You know, you have to pick and choose your aggression, and you have to pick and choose your battles. He aggresses to make it a 1v1, and then he plays passive because the attacker eventually has to come to him, right? So knowing when to use your aggression based off of man count. He does this beautifully, right? One thing that he does do wrong, and the commentators actually do announce this, I don't know if you were paying attention, is that he peeked the buck when he did not need to peek the buck at all, right? He had 2 echo cams that could have denied the plant. He had infinite information on him, but he decided to peek the buck anyways. He did get shot a little bit, and he almost died for it, but he didn't, luckily. He realized he just needs to hold a passive angle. He has 2 people with cameras that can watch the enemy, and then when the buck realized, okay, I have to take the fight, it was already too late, and he ended up swinging him because he heard that the buck had his shotgun out. Well played use of aggression there with the echo, and a good echo cam spot to really put a bow on this good clip of a round. Let me know down in the comments if you want more style videos like this. Sub to the channel down below. I post 4 educational Siege pieces of content every single week, as well as TikToks daily. Like the video if you liked it. Again, my name's Alka, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.